I call this regular meeting of the Carrabelle City Commission to order. It's Thursday, August the 5th, 2020, 6 p.m. or 6:01 p.m. And this meeting is being conducted in the Carrabelle City Hall chambers. We'll open with a prayer by Commissioner Allen, and then I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. And please stand.
Our God and Father in heaven, we're so grateful that we live in this beautiful city, and we realize that our responsibility to keep it in harmony with your will. We ask you to be with us and all those that are sick and afflicted and in mourning, and put our trust in you. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everyone. It's good to see you. Thank you for silencing your phones this evening. Anyone wishing to speak during the public comment section or during any discussion portion of any item, you will need to complete a speaker card and submit that to administrative staff here at the appropriate time. All public comments are kept at a maximum of 3 minutes with a one-time visit to the podium for each item. Loud outbursts will not be tolerated or allowed, and a hard copy of the written ground rules is available upon request. So we'll move forward right now to our consent agenda, which has the July 1st, 2021 regular commission meeting minutes and the attorney's invoices for June for the general fund and the CRA.
Move to approve.
All right, we have that motion by Commissioner Allen. Do we have a second?
Second.
And second by Commissioner Millender. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. Next, we have commissioners' reports.
I think we need to amend the agenda.
We could amend it now. I have it in my notes to request to amend it under Ms. Courtney's. Okay. Commissioner reports. Ms. Brown. Commissioner Brown.
I don't have any.
Okay. Commissioner Allen.
I have none.
All right. And Commissioner Millender.
One thing of mention, real quick, the flagpole project for the 2 cemeteries in the city hall is not complete, but it has made a tremendous amount of progress, and a lot of thanks go out to the water and sewer department for assisting with the fire truck, the streets and roads. What part's done, it looks excellent. They like one pole going up at Evergreen Cemetery, and they really look good. Thank them.
Okay,
That's
thank
it.
you. Thank you for the report. I have a question. The pole at Evergreen will be the one that's being donated by the Woodman?
Correct.
Okay, and has that one arrived yet? Or?
It has.
Okay, great, wonderful. All right, well, I'll be looking forward to that. I like to get photos and post that on my Facebook page. Okay. All right. And then Commissioner Mathis is absent because of an illness, and we send our prayers and thoughts to him and hope he's back soon.
Mayor, on that one, obviously it's a medical situation, I believe at last meeting.
Mhm.
Also had that, it probably would be appropriate, just so we don't run into a, call it unexcused absence situation, to motion to excuse him for medical reasons from this.
Okay. Would someone like to motion to excuse Mr. Mathis, Commissioner Mathis, this evening?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to excuse Commissioner Mathis.
Okay, that's Commissioner Brown has that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and that's a second by Commissioner Millender. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, and I do have a report here as usual. And I just want to take a few moments to send my thanks to Ms. D.T. Simmons, who's the Public Information Officer with the Department of Health in Franklin and Gulf Counties. And she answered my 8 a.m. phone call yesterday and worked diligently with me for an hour gathering information to help our administrative and supervisory staff proceed with managing COVID positivity among essential workers, especially addressing HIPAA laws and personal rights. And there was absolutely no hesitation in her willingness to assist and to provide the information that we needed. She reinforced the aggressive nature of the COVID Delta variant in our community at this time, and she did express concern and empathy, and she will take a phone call from any of our administrative staff, attorney, or anyone who has questions on how to proceed, and I do thank her very much. Next, I send my thanks to Ms. Pam Brunell, Franklin County Emergency Management Director. She has managed the request for proposals effort to receive proposals for disaster debris removal and disposal and disaster debris monitoring. She recommended to the County Commission that the cities of Carrabelle and Apalachicola be included in this bid process, which is tedious and must be followed exactly as the federal guidelines are laid out. Fortunately, the 2 cities were included, and we will open those requests for proposals at the end of this meeting. And finally, I send my thanks to Mr. Mark Currington, Franklin County Planner. He immediately responded to our city administrator's request for assistance with bid advertisement, bid documents, and bid specifications required by the FWC Derelict Vessel Removal Grant Program. As everyone knows, we were awarded an FWC grant to manage removal of 2 derelict vessels in the Carrabelle River that are actually tethered to private docks. But when the grant agreement came in and the notice to proceed, Courtney and I found ourselves up against a brick wall. The FWC will not fund for grant managers or engineers to assist to complete the project. The request for sealed bids for marine salvage removal had to be advertised immediately upon receipt of the FWC signed agreement and notice to proceed. Neither Courtney or I knew how to develop these bid documents according to their guidelines, and so we reached out to several for assistance, and Mr. Currington came through immediately. He clearly understood that time is of the essence, and when working with this particular grant program. So all of those folks, I send my thanks to on behalf of the city of Carrabelle. And I do want to advise the commission that this week I signed an amendment, number 2, of the Northwest Florida Water Management District Grant Agreement for the Lighthouse Estates Septic to Sewer Phase 1. It's a grant for 53 properties, and the new agreement period is from April 2017 through April 12th, 2013, with all work required to be completed on or before the end of that agreement period. So that's my report, and we will move to the attorney's report.
Okay, I have none.
Okay, thank you. And then we will move to the city administrator's report.
We advertised for the part-time dock and boat ramp attendant like we discussed last month, and I did get back 2 letters of interest. However, you know, Labor Day really ends our season, and so we only have a couple more weeks of really busy times, and we don't know that we're going to be busy or what the weather's going to be like. So right now we're just holding off on that, and maybe we want to pick that back up come spring when it picks back up again. And we may also have some other options that we're looking into, but right now we're just going to hold off, I believe, because I think we only have Labor Day is probably our really busiest weekend, and we don't know the next 2 or 3 weeks if it's going to be nice or not. As the mayor reported, we did receive the FWC Derelict Vessel Removal Grant Award. It's a very short time frame. I have to have these contracts have to be back in within 15 days of receiving them. So tonight, later on in the agenda, we'll open these, and I have 2, but we'll open and award the grant, or the contract. During the month, I received an email from Michael Marone, the county administrator, and after Russell had gave us the plans back for the Ryan Drive culvert, they sent that back to the contractor, and he revised his estimate, and it was additional $27,000. So Franklin County At their last meeting, they voted to go ahead and pay the additional 13.5, which is half of the 27. And they're asking that the city pay the other 13.5. So, we will need a motion on that, but I know there is some discussion that you guys would like to have.
But go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and take 13.5 out of the, log account to go ahead and, for our match on that particular project and, bring it to completion. I'm all about trying to save money and do bids, but I don't know that if we bid it, in my feeling, it would be that materials wouldn't go up the way things are doing, and it would prolong it a little bit, so I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and accept that and pay that additional 13.5.
Okay, and I would just like to correct that one. It's $13,352.50.
Okay, well, it was, I guess it
Okay.
was rounded off.
Yeah,
In his email, he
and
just
we want to
said-
get that right.
Say that again?
$13,352.50. $13,352.50.
And when I listened to the counties, they said it was 13.50 as well. I listened to their meeting.
Okay. All right, and we have that motion by Commissioner Melander
I'll second.
and second by Commissioner Allen. Do we have any discussion? Okay, and I do have some discussion. I listened to the county commission meeting at all. I don't know if any of y'all did attend, now I do understand that Commissioner Melander attended, but they had some questions, and the interlocal agreement was, I'm sure it was sent to everyone, and there are some paragraphs in there that really should be pointed out so that we won't have any misunderstanding. Paragraph 3, Roberts and Roberts' original estimated bid was $90,000, which is clearly outlined, and we all agreed to that. And paragraph 5 indicates the estimated cost is an estimate and that the final cost could be higher or lower based on the actual unit values used for repair. And then paragraph 6, section 2, the county and city shall share equally the final cost for the repair. Paragraph 6, section 4, the city's engineer shall prepare and deliver engineered construction plans, which Roberts and Roberts will use to provide an updated quote. And the engineered plans will be at no cost to either party. Paragraph 6, section 5, is for preparation of the construction plans. A survey will be needed, and the city will pay the cost of the survey, which was completed and the city paid. Either party, in paragraph 6, section 7, which is the most important, either party may elect not to participate in this cost-sharing arrangement after a review of the updated cost of repairs. And this agreement will be considered terminated unless both parties thereafter affirm their consent to the updated price quote. So if we do confirm this after our discussion, then we do need to confirm our agreement on this updated quote by email. The interlocal agreement was signed by the county chairperson, by the county clerk, by the county attorney, by myself, by our city clerk, and by our city attorney. So, everyone had the opportunity to review this, and which all of us agreed, both boards agreed to this. And so we've been proceeding in that fashion as laid out in this it's clearly laid out. And it's a good, well-written agreement to which I thoroughly agree. It lays out the details, and it gives each party the opportunity to opt out if they don't like the final quote. So, we've been working on this. Commissioner Ward and I we first met on it on December the 11th, 2020, 237 days ago. And I was not able to bring it to the board until our first meeting after that, which was January the 7th, 21 days later. March the 31st, 83 days later, we received the original $90,000 bid from Roberts and Roberts. May the 13th, 43 days later, we received the interlocal agreement to sign. June the 29th, another 26 days, the engineered construction plans were complete, to which we all agreed. And then July 27th, another 27 days, we received the final updated quote that we just had a motion on to accept. There's been no intentional delay. This is merely the process of developing an interlocal agreement and construction plans and obtaining quotes. And we understand that every elected official wants to see a project go fast and smoothly. So, you know, there's been no intention to do this on purpose, to make it delayed. We're merely following the procedure outlined in the interlocal agreement. And working with another agency can be challenging, but I would say that it's very rewarding when the final goal is achieved, which we're working towards that now. So we have the final updated quotes from Roberts and Roberts. The total of it now is $116,770, with the city's 50% additional cost being additional $13,352, for a grand total of the city of $58,385 for each party. So the price did go up, but the quote, both quotes included a mobilization fee and a maintenance of traffic fee, but all of the other materials cost went up, and that is expected because materials costs have been rising over the past few months. And we did discuss briefly, and the county commission discussed it, that we were briefly discussing over here to put the project out to bid. But the quote that's a gamble. The quote could come back higher or lower. We may save $5,000 for each party, but then we're prolonging the project. And one county commissioner said 50% of something is a whole lot less than 100%, and I agree to that as well. I just want to tell the commission as well that I spoke with Jonathan, the Roberts and Roberts construction manager, and he reported that he does not have a timeline or a deadline for this culvert repair on Ryan Drive. He says that no materials are ordered at this point, that he's been waiting for the final purchase order. He explained it will take approximately 60 days for delivery of the materials, which is the biggest issue that he's facing, and we all know about that. It's taken us 2 months to get 2 sewer vacuum pits delivered. He said as soon as the materials are delivered, he would jump right on the project because it's declared as an emergency project, and considering weekends and weather, at least one lane could be reopened within 2 weeks. He says that he may have to continue with the one-lane closure for the sidewalk work. So there you have it in a nutshell. I have reviewed the city's log account, and we do want to have funding to complete the Southeast 9th Street surfacing project up to a certain point. And I don't believe that the additional $13,352.50 will affect that goal for Southeast 9th Street. So, does anyone else have any discussion? All right, I'm going to call for a vote on Mr. Millender's motion and Commissioner Allen's second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. All right, okay, Ms. Courtney?
Earlier this afternoon, I received an email from Kenley Horn, which is the city's airport engineers, and FDOT has requested that we do a new resolution because their requirements have changed. So this is a resolution that we've done before, back several months ago, but because they've changed their requirements, we need to update this resolution, and Dan can read that for us.
Okay, but we need now, right now,
We
we
will need
need
a vote
to,
on it.
I'm going to ask the commission if we may amend the agenda to include approval or disapproval of this resolution number 10-2021.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to that effect.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, that amendment, Ms. Keisha, is by Commissioner Millender, second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, Mr. Hartman, would you read that for us, please?
This is the taxiway resolution. So, City of Carrabelle Resolution 10-2021, a resolution authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute a change in description and increase in funding to a public transportation grant agreement, project number 423905-5. With the Florida Department of Transportation to provide 100% grant funding to construct a parallel taxiway to environmental design and site work for the taxiways and hangars. Whereas the City of Carrabelle agrees to move $235,233 in funding from a public transportation grant agreement, project number 407438-3, to public transportation grant agreement, project number 423905-5, for a total project value of $785,233. Whereas the City of Carrabelle needs 100% grant funding to complete the environmental design and initial site work of the new taxiway and hangar facilities. Whereas the Carrabelle City Commission wishes to take advantage of the generous offer of the Florida Department of Transportation to provide 100% of the funding to make these needed improvements to the Carrabelle-Thompson Airport. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Carrabelle, Florida, assembled in regular meeting on August 5th, 2021, that the mayor be, and she is hereby authorized and directed to negotiate and execute a public transportation grant agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation, a document necessary to receive funding from the Florida Department of Transportation as follows. Florida Department of Transportation participation, 100%, $785,233. City of Carrabelle participation, 0%, $0. Total project cost, $785,233. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be attached to the public transportation grant agreement between the City of Carrabelle and the Florida Department of Transportation when fully executed.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so what this is they're actually just changing the project description from their environmental and planning and design and planning of the hangar, of the taxiway. I don't have it in front of me. I'm trying to remember it here. Of the taxiway, they want to change the project description, and that also included construction of hangars, but they want to change that to design and environmental of the taxiway and of the hangars, and not construction of the initial construction of the hangars. So that's basically what that is. So do we have any further discussions or questions?
Do we, Mr. Attorney, do we need a second reading before we approve it?
Do not, it's a resolution, so
Okay.
just one reading's fine.
Well, I make a motion to approve the resolution read by the attorney and approve the mayor to sign it.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, and that motion, Ms. Keisha, is by Commissioner Millender, second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right. Ms. Courtney?
And lastly, staff is continuing to review the personnel policy recommendations from the prisoner group and update the personnel policy as directed at the last commission meeting.
Okay. Do we have any further questions or comments for our city administrator? All right, then we'll move on to the city clerk's report.
Okay, I got some bunch of dates for you. So get your calendars out. We have a CRA budget workshop August the 10th at 1:30. CRA regular meeting August the 17th at 1:30. It's looking like we will have a P&Z meeting on August the 19th. I've heard from Mr.
16th.
I'm sorry?
The 16th, the 19th is a Sunday.
Oh, August the 19th, that's the Thursday. That's the third Thursday.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Collins Moe has been in touch, so we will probably have that, as long as they stay on schedule. We need to schedule a general fund and water and sewer workshop for, sometime in August. We will have our first budget hearing on September 14th at 5:01. And our second and final budget hearing, September 27th at 5:01.
Okay, and then I think we need to have a special meeting on
Oh,
September.
and a special, yes.
Mm-hmm.
A special meeting on the September the 14th, at 5:30. We need to schedule that as well, because that hasn't been scheduled. And that'll be for first reading of our CRA expansion ordinance.
So one at 17:01 and one at 7.
One on the 17th, on the 14th at 4:30, and then we'll go right into our budget workshop at
Okay,
5.
at 4:30, okay.
4:30, okay.
And what was the, second budget hearing? What was the date? Was it
September 27th
7th? Okay.
at 5:01.
Okay, then we're going to need to have a general fund and a water and sewer budget workshop, and I would request that to be in late August, because, you know, we're still working on these things behind the scenes. We do have as Ms. Keisha pointed out, a CRA budget workshop next Tuesday. And then the Aviation Advisory Board is having a budget workshop on Monday, this coming Monday. And they'll make their I think that's in their report. They did report that. So how does it look for folks like on August the 23rd, 24th, 25th, or 26th?
I'm open.
I am too. I was going to take vacation then. Merely joking, but I am. So.
I would prefer not to do a Monday.
Okay.
It's hard to come in.
And what time? Let's think about the time too.
25th, I'm good.
Okay. I'm good on the 25th. 25th, what time?
I'm open all day, whatever suits
Okay.
the crew.
I
10
would
o'clock?
rather do early afternoon rather than
Okay.
5 or 6 o'clock.
1:30? Do you like 1:30? Okay. Is that okay with staff? All right. Okay, then, let's have a motion.
August
For
25th.
both of those meetings there.
Okay. So we'll do both then. A motion for the general fund and water and sewer budget workshop on August the 25th at 1:30, and a motion for the special meeting on September the 14th at 4:30.
I'll make a motion to that effect for
Oh.
both of those meetings. Or do you need them independently?
Well, I didn't mean to say two, I didn't mean to say motion twice. One motion will be sufficient.
That's what I mean, one
Yes.
motion for both.
Yes,
both
that's very
meetings.
good. And Commissioner Millender is making one motion for both of those meetings on the August the 25th and September the 14th.
That's correct.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and that is second by Commissioner Brown. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and that motion carries, and that's quite a few meetings over the next 6 weeks, and if we could get that posted somewhere, maybe on Facebook or something, so we can all see it and the public can get an idea of what we're doing. Okay, do you have anything else, Ms. Keisha?
No, that's all I have.
Okay, does anyone have questions for our city clerk? All right, then we'll move to Mr. Russell Large, Anovia Consulting.
All right, thank you. We are continuing with the design for the expanded limits of the Hill project. As soon as we get that prepared, we'll get with Courtney and negotiate a change order with the contractor. We're still looking for the award for the next DOT scope project in September 21. On our lighthouse project, septic to sewer, that project has been let for bid. The ad has run in the Times, the Star, the Tallahassee Democrat, and an online service called Construct Connect. So far, we have 3 bidders who have picked up plans and specs. There is a virtual pre-bid conference to be held on 17 August. at 2 p.m. And I will send out a link to that meeting to Courtney and all the plan holders. And then bids are due on August 26th at 1:30.
And we will be having a public bid opening on August the 26th at 1:30. So that is open to the public. It will be here. It's not a special meeting, but it's a public bid opening.
At 1:30?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I have a question
Okay,
then on
sure.
that one, since we were, when do you, you suspect we will award those bids at the September meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
right. That's what I was
Okay,
thinking of. I thought that was close enough to the September meeting. That would give us opportunity to review the bids and be ready for a recommendation at the September meeting.
thank you.
Okay. All right, on our Marine Street project, I'm sure you're aware that project was awarded, and Fred Fox is proceeding with the environmental review, which I understand takes about 6 months. So the anticipated letting for that is around February 2022. And then there is a new sewer grant application that has been filed through CDBG. That's their disaster recovery group, and that's for infiltration and inflow. So we worked with Charlie and identified 4 areas in the city and in Lanark that needed repair. So those are the 4 applications that are being provided, and we're assisting Fred Fox with those grant applications.
And Miss Melissa Fox is here to talk to y'all about that later on in the meeting.
Okay, and that's all I have. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, do we have any questions for Mr. Large? Okay, all right, well, I thank you for your report, and thank you for being here this evening. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Okay, then, on the Carrabelle Aviation Advisory Board and Carrabelle Waterfront Partnership have both submitted their reports, and they are available to the public from the clerk's office. And they did, the Aviation Advisory Board did mention in their report that their budget workshop will be on Monday, August the 9th. And then they'll make recommendations through Ms. Courtney to this board. Okay, so we're going to move forward to our public hearing for the 2021 CDBG disaster recovery application for Hurricane Michael. And Miss Melissa Fox is here to present that program for us. And then, Miss Fox, will you need us to, are we going to be, will you need a motion from this board?
Yes.
Okay, so if you'll advise us what that is as soon as you move into the proper time. Thank you.
Do you have a paper copy of this?
We're receiving that now. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the City of Carrabelle's public hearing for the 2021 CDBG disaster recovery applications for Hurricane Michael Round 2 grants. The state of Florida has appropriated $111,516,000 in a second round of Hurricane Michael disaster recovery assistance for the 2021 federal fiscal year. Minimum award is $250,000, and there is no maximum amount that you can apply for. There is no match requirement in this application. Unlike, the small cities where you get points, there is no match requirement. Eligible activities under this program is the restoration of infrastructure damaged by Hurricane Michael, including water and sewer facilities, streets, drainage, bridges, etc., removal of debris and other damage, water and sewer facilities, repair to public facilities such as emergency community shelters, demolition, rehabilitation of publicly or privately owned commercial or industrial buildings, repair of homeless shelters, disaster shelter facilities, renourishment of dunes and/or dune restoration, economic revitalization, which includes any CDBG DR eligible activity that demonstrably restores and improves some aspect of the local economy. Additionally, projects must demonstrate damage tieback to Hurricane Michael. So you have to be able to show documentation that during the storm, it was caused by this storm. Must primarily serve low to moderate income populations. Must support LMI housing, low to moderate income, or urgent need. And there must be no duplication of benefits. So if you received money from, say, FEMA, you can't apply for the same money to do the same project. All right. So under round two, during Hurricane Michael, these are the primary activities we're looking at is the sanitary sewer inflow and infiltration projects. During Hurricane Michael, torrential rains and storm surge poured into the sanitary sewer pipes of the city's sanitary sewer collection system. This inflow and infiltration of the storm-related water into Carrabelle's sanitary sewer collection system placed a huge strain on the wastewater treatment plant during times when it was most critical for it to remain operational. The city has identified 4 primary areas in the system where the stormwater made its way into the sanitary sewer collection system. The city is proposing to submit 4 applications to the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity for funding to repair the lines and manholes that are allowing stormwater infiltration. And the purpose of tonight's meeting is to discuss those 4 projects and then also to answer any questions and to obtain public comment on the 4 projects. Project 1 is the Lanark Village West project. And in this project, city is proposing to rehabilitate 5,700 linear feet of gravity sanitary sewer lines, repair 14 manholes serving portions of Newman Drive, Collins Avenue, Parker Avenue, and Carl King Street in Lanark Village. The estimated cost associated with this project under administration would be $72,250. Under engineering, $178,965, and under construction, $1,193,100. Total amount that the city would be requesting would be $1,444,315. Are there any questions from either commission or from the public on project 1?
Okay, then I do have a question.
Okay.
Are we submitting 4 applications for 4 separate and distinct projects?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. You
Thank
would
you.
submit 4 different applications.
I have a question.
Anytime you have a service area that are not contiguous, so since we're doing 4 separate areas, it requires 4 separate projects.
All right, then.
That's totally different than your small cities project that we normally do, so.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
I have an art gallery and I rent, and during the storm, we lost a lot of roofing. And we patched it, so it's not leaking, but the landlord is wanting to put a new roof on. Is this the kind of project?
If you could put it back, tie it back to Hurricane Michael, then yes, that is, a possible,
That's, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
unless you received other sources of funding for that roof.
Very good, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, so we will move on to project 2, which is the Lanark Village East. And in this one, the city is proposing to rehabilitate 3,130 linear feet of gravitary sanitary sewer lines and repair 8 manholes serving portions of Appalachia Avenue, Palmetto Street, Florida Avenue, and Franklin Street in Lanark Village. Estimated cost with this under administration would be $39,950. Under engineering, $99,015. Under construction would be $660,100. Total the city would be requesting for this project would be $799,065. Are there any questions? Let me ask you something, Commissioner Allen. On that question that you asked me, is it privately owned or is it publicly owned, the building?
It's privately owned.
It's a privately owned building? Okay, we would have to look into that to see if we could use CDBG funds for that. Typically, it's this, because the city would have to be the applicant. So under that one, it may not, may not qualify. But I can look into it and let you know.
Well, thank you.
All right, are there any questions or comments on project 2? Okay, we will move on to project 3. This is the Carrabelle Beach Drive project. In this one, the city is proposing to rehabilitate 3,100 linear feet of gravity sanitary sewer lines and repair 8 manholes serving portions of Carrabelle Beach Drive and Spacey Drive. Estimated cost associated with this would be under administration, $40,500. Engineering would be $100,398, and under construction would be $669,325. Total the city would be requesting for this project would be $810,223. Any questions? All right, so the final project would be the Three Rivers Road and Bruce Avenue project. In this one, the city is proposing to rehabilitate 2,770 linear feet of gravity sanitary sewer lines and repair 12 manholes serving portions of Three Rivers Road and Bruce Avenue. Estimated cost with this one, under administration would be $40,500. Under engineering would be $100,398. Under construction would be $669,325. Total requested would be $810,223. Are there any questions on this?
Well, Lisa, do you believe that they would only fund one, or is there a possibility that they would fund more than one project?
There's a possibility that, yes, that they would fund all of them. So, just to give you a little bit of background, under Lanark Village, you're going to be able to use your census data, so we won't need to be doing door-to-door surveys. On the other two, the Three Rivers Road and Carrabelle Beach, we will have to show documentation that they are 51% low to moderate income. That will be going out and doing a door-to-door survey. We'll need to just meet that threshold. So if for any reason that those two did not meet, then those two would not be submitted because they would not be eligible.
Okay, then, so these projects are actually, they're potentially competing against each other in a way then?
Yes.
Okay. And then you've got to do that survey before the deadline to submit the application.
That's correct. And
Okay.
I believe Russell, he's got a group of interns who are willing to do that. So
Okay,
we're going to
great.
work with them, show them how to complete the form, and then they'll just do they'll just go to every home, and as long as we can document that 51%, and it's basically just they're going to ask their name, if they rent or own, how many people live in the home, and then based on that, on how many people live in the home, if their income is under a certain amount. If 51% of the people in those areas are considered low to moderate income, then it would be an eligible activity.
Okay, so then I'll just repeat that for the public information, and that there will be a door-to-door survey for Carrabelle Beach Drive and Spacey Drive for this CDBG application, loan application for Hurricane Michael's flood infiltration into the sewer lines and
Correct.
manholes.
As well as Three
Yes.
Rivers Road and Bruce.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there are steps required, as always, with the CDBG DR Hurricane Michael Round 2. The first is to advertise and hold a public hearing. We're doing that right now. We will obtain commission approval to move forward and submit 4 proposed projects applications as potentially amended by any public comments. Additionally, the city will receive public comments up until August 16th, 2021. So that's a little different than your small cities. Usually, once the second public hearing is held, it's, the resolution to submit is prepared and it's submitted how it is. But in this instance, we're actually going to receive comments up to August 16th. If necessary, we will revise any of those 4 applications based on public comment. And then we will submit the 4 applications no later than September 17th, 2021 to this Community Development Block Grant Program. And then the last one, is there any general questions about this program or anything about the project in particular?
Does anyone, I've asked all my questions at this point. Does the public have any questions regarding this project? Ms.
All right.
Tamara does.
I don't really have a question, but a statement. The Waterfront Partnership Plan for the future for the whole community urged every opportunity to upgrade the sewers, upgrade the piping and all that, and help with the problems we've been having. So it's a well-documented problem that we've had that we need to address. So it's great.
We do have a sign-in sheet. We just need everyone in the public. Did you already sign in? We just pass it around.
And Miss Melissa, if you need any of that documentation from the Carrabelle Vision, Waterfront Partnership Vision
Okay.
Document regarding that they have recommended improvements to our sewer sewer systems. Okay.
I appreciate that. Yes, we will certainly, okay, we'll certainly be in touch with the city and let the city know any additional documentation. This is a new application, so it's totally different from the small cities one as far as what documentation they're gonna be requiring, so. So basically what we need tonight is a motion to, submit the 4 proposed projects. And then we have a resolution, and I believe it's Resolution 09-2021, which, authorizes the submission of those 4.
Okay, so you need 2 motions then.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a motion then to, for approval to submit the 4 proposed CDBG DR applications as outlined by Ms. Fox.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have surround sound.
Okay.
Who's second? Okay,
Either one.
okay, I'll say Commissioner Allen. Okay, and so that's motion by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. And then we need a motion to approve or disapprove Resolution 092021, authorizing submission of these 4 applications, grant applications.
Do we need to read it?
It's up to the attorney.
Do you need to read it, Dan?
Don't, maybe just read the caption.
If you want to, that's fine, sir,
All right.
if you have it. I
This
don't.
is a resolution 09-2021, a resolution authorizing the submission of 4 applications in round 2 of the Rebuild Florida General Infrastructure Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery CDBG-DR program to mitigate the impact of Hurricane Michael on the city of Carrabelle. All 4 applications are being submitted to the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve resolution 09-2021 as read by the attorney.
All right, and we have that motion by Commissioner Millender. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
All right, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you, and good luck to all of us. All right, shall we move forward, or do we need to take a recess? All right, then we'll move forward. Item 1, presentation of the Carrabelle Economic Development Strategy for 2021 by Ms. Carolyn Smith of the ARPC is the item. She wrote Courtney and I this afternoon saying that she would not be able to come this evening, but she would be able to be here at our September meeting. So may we have a motion to table this item until,
I'll make that motion. Table.
okay, table to our September 2nd, I believe.
I'll second.
Okay, and that motion is by Commissioner Millender and second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you. Item 2, and this board, under item 2, this board is now convening as a quasi-judicial board for a quasi-judicial hearing under new business item 2, which is discussion and possible action concerning a special exception at 304 Highway 98 East to allow a residential use in a C1 zoning. And this is requested by Kevin and Rena Bodo. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay, and is there a representative here for Kevin and Rena?
I don't see them.
Okay. So, how did this is a request to have a residential use in a C1 zoning commercial district. How was it recommended by the P and Z board?
The P and Z board recommended unanimously to approve.
Do we know where, can you explain to us and the public where this is located?
This is the little house beside the old dollar store, right there on 98.
Okay. We have approved that once before, and I will go ahead and say the things as for public record that I say to all the folks that request a residential use in our commercial district, that they're going to be surrounded by lots and lots of activities, lots of noises, parades, fireworks, events, ambulances, clock tower chiming and playing music 24 hours a day, bands day and night, on the weekends too. Ongoing traffic, business at the bank, noises from fishing tournaments, and it's not a regular residential neighborhood, especially on Highway 98 next to the old Dollar General store, which has been sold or leased, and there's about to become a new business type activity in there that's going to have plenty of traffic. And we just want to make sure that the folks that want to have a residential use in this property understand that. So that is for public record, although they're not here. It's unfortunate.
I did tell them that at the.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
very much. And they appeared to understand? Okay,
They was looking forward to it.
all right. Very good. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the request.
okay.
I'll second.
All right, and that motion is by Commissioner Allen, second by, no, it's not, it's by Commissioner Millender. And it's second by Commissioner Allen. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, then, this quasi judicial hearing is now adjourned, and the commission will reconvene the regular commission meeting. And we will move right into item 3, which is discussion and possible action regarding tower site agreement, assignment of lease from L3 Harris to Department Management Services, also referred to as DMS. And I've asked Mr. Hartman to explain this request to us. Thank you.
Okay, and what this is accomplishes a number of things. The first is the assignment from L3 Harris. It is an assignment from L3 Harris to DMS. And it also has a number of other things, which talks about, these are pretty innocuous, was creating ability to pay the lease in advance each month, adding a contingency funds could be appropriated each year for the state to pay on the lease agreement. Just the applicable law, allowing the state of Florida to do self-insurance to satisfy some insurance requirements under the lease and that sort of thing. So, and changing our contact information on the lease. And so I did not see anything in here that caught my attention as far as that we would have any issue with assignment of this lease to DMS. That's obviously a relatively innocuous assignment. It's basically another state agency. So we should be able to get along with them, and we're not giving up any rights or anything else. And the changes are really required by Florida law, because now you have a governmental entity becoming the lessee.
So, Mayor,
Yes.
Dan, do I understand it's going from private to state leasing?
Yes.
DMS is Department of Management Services.
Exactly, so it is. That is strange, but I know that it's used for public purposes. that tower.
Police radios.
Yeah, so, kind of makes sense, but it's interesting. I mean, it's going from private to public, and that does require some contractual changes, but again, they're nothing that is, it jeopardizes any of our rights, doesn't really change anything.
It's not,
Doesn't change it, I'm sorry.
well, it's not changing our lease agreement with them
Yes.
whatsoever.
Right.
Our
Doesn't
contract,
change, for us,
The
from our
payment.
standpoint, control, possession,
Yeah.
the financial piece of it, everything,
Everything's the same.
saying it's the same.
all right then.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, to approve the signature on the amended tower lease agreement. Okay, that's what they're asking for, is a signature. Okay,
I'll second.
Okay, and that motion is by Commissioner Millender, second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Hartman. All right, now we have item 4, and this is discussion of possible action regarding hiring 2 full-time police officers. And we have Chief Schuman with us this evening. Thank you, and welcome aboard. I welcomed you aboard a month or so ago officially, and you weren't here. So,
What?
welcome aboard.
Glad to be here.
Okay.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Good.
Okay, just need to get the board's approval on hiring 2 full-time officers. They are currently part-time with us at this time. The full-time status would start Saturday, August 7th, as to when our new pay period would start. Both gentlemen have past law enforcement histories. One has been in law enforcement for a little over 3 years with the sheriff's office. The other one is a part-time officer who's worked with us for the past 4 years. And so just would like to get the board to go ahead and get that approved, and that would give us a full staff, which would allow me to start more on my chiefly duties weekly instead of how it's been working lately.
Day
So,
and night.
Day and night, yep. So,
Okay, and I spoke with the chief this afternoon and wanted to know how he suggested, would he like one motion for each officer? And he does, which I agree with. I would like one motion for Mr. Reben,
Reben,
and
yep.
then one motion for Doug Scarabin. So,
I make a motion to approve the chief's request for Reben. Jacob Reben.
Jacob Reben as a full-time police
Correct.
officer. And we have that motion by Commissioner Millender to approve for hiring Jacob Reben as a full-time officer. Do we have a second? And that's by Commissioner Allen. And is there any further discussion? Please send Mr. Reben our congratulations, I think, here, and
well, I
let's see
hope
what
to
we
send him
got.
around to meet everybody.
Okay.
So everybody has the opportunity to
Okay,
get to know Jacob.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries, and tell him welcome aboard.
Will do.
Okay,
And
and
I'll
then,
follow that with a motion to follow the chief's request and hire Doug Scarabin as the second full-time police officer.
okay, we have that motion by Commissioner Millender. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? And that motion is by Commissioner Millender, second by Commissioner Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. And please tell Mr. Scarabin, Officer Scarabin, welcome aboard full-time. It's been a long time coming. We
Will do.
appreciate him
Will
coming
do.
on board.
I appreciate
He's
both of them
he's
coming on board.
He's a good officer, and as I've seen some good comments about Officer Reben as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think they're both excited to be here, and like I said, that completes the hiring process for full-time. Now we're looking for maybe a couple part-time.
All right.
So, and also just to advise the board to be on the lookout for our new vehicle, courtesy of the CARES Act. That's that vehicle's in service as of 2 days ago,
Okay,
driven by Officer Peterson, and another young lady that I would like for her to get out and meet everybody and get familiar with, so.
all right, and that is a F-150.
Yep, 2021 F-150.
All right, very
So,
good, and you did quick work on that.
Yes,
To
ma'am.
get the paint job and everything, get
Yep.
her delivered, and so, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you all
Thank you,
have a good
Chief.
evening. All right, item 5, under new business, discussion of possible action regarding requesting a RFP or request for proposal from Evergreen Solutions and the Krisner Group to develop a minimum wage implementation plan for the city. Now, back in February 2020, the Krisner Group performed a comprehensive employee compensation review using our existing job descriptions and the Florida-based data resources, and they developed a wage compensation comparison in the low, medium, and high percentiles. And they also pointed out that wage and benefits compensations can be unique to an organization, as it is with the city of Carrabelle, which offers outstanding health insurance program and with wages overall in the medium percentile for most of the job descriptions. And it is unique with a municipality in that its revenues are ultimately determined from the taxable value of private properties within its jurisdiction. And that's unlike a private business, and a portion of those revenues are then dedicated to salaries. But we're not looking for a wage comparison today. We are in need of an implementation plan for the newly mandated minimum wage increase. I had mentioned this to you all at the first of the year. Time has gotten by, but we really do need to do this. The minimum wage is going to increase at $10 per hour in September. At this point, we have only one employee that will require a raise to that amount, so it's not really going to affect our budget. But then it's going to, as we all know, increase $1 per year until it reaches $15 in 2026. And this applies to all employers of the state of Florida. So the implementation plan should include all the current employees' wages so that they would increase commensurate with the minimum wage increase. And we could try to pick this apart and calculate it ourselves, but a professional study with annual wage increase recommendations in a tiered fashion, I believe, is what we need to become in compliance for each year, because the wage is tiering up each year. So that's what I have to say about it, and I would love to hear what the other commissioners, how they feel about this.
I've supported this since I've been on the commission, and I totally am in favor of going out for RFPs for this purpose.
Okay, so, but this mandate did not come into effect till last November. And this is
My thoughts had nothing to do with the mandate.
Okay.
Yep.
And now we do have a wage compensation comparison. What we're looking for is a minimum wage implementation plan that would include the new minimum wage rate that's being mandated, or that is mandated. So, but we need to do this.
I'll make a motion, we do it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have that motion by Commissioner Allen, second by Commissioner Brown. Is there any other discussion? And
So we just want the two, the Krisner Group and the Evergreen Solutions?
and unless the commission has another, someone, we advertised several years ago for requests for proposal, and those were the only two we reached out, even called other cities, who do they use, and these were the two that replied. So I think that would be sufficient. Is that sufficient, Mr. Hartman, just for Ms. Courtney to submit a request for proposal to these two identified companies?
And they are the only ones at this point that expressed interest?
I thought there was one more, but I'd have to go back. That's been several years ago.
I would send it out to anybody who expressed interest.
Okay. All right then. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. All right, very good. We'll see. How long do you think you want to give them to reply? 2 weeks?
I was thinking 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's normal.
All right, okay. Then under old business, there is none. And so now we're going to move into the,
Skip
Number
item
6.
Item 6.
well, I guess I don't have it in my notes, but let me look on the
The
agenda.
4-factor analysis.
I beg your pardon?
The 4-factor analysis.
I don't have that in my notes, and I don't have an agenda with me.
Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay. Item 6, discussion of possible action regarding approval of the 4-factor analysis for limited English proficiency persons. So, do we have someone here?
Miss
that's
Melissa
from-
Fox can address that.
Oh, okay.
It's me again. Yeah, this is something new that the state is requiring, and what they're wanting to do is to make sure in any public hearing or public notice that you're providing translators for people with limited English proficiency. So this is developing a limited English proficiency persons analysis. This is we're gonna look at data and to determine if you need to do one. In your case, the city of Carrabelle utilized the American Community Survey data table 1602. Based on this data, the city of Carrabelle does not meet the 1,000 person or 5% LEP persons threshold for any non-English speaking languages identified. Had you met that threshold, then you would have had to, if anyone requested, provide a translator for tonight's public hearing. The notices would have had to have been put in that language, whatever the language is that we determined. So in this case, the city does not, but you still needed to do that certification. So on the last page, it just basically says a certification based on the above four-factor analysis. The city of Carrabelle is not required to develop an LAP. However, the city of Carrabelle will make all reasonable attempts to accommodate language access needs of residents requesting oral translation during citizens' participation activities. So that's basically what this is about.
Okay, and then you don't need a motion on this, this was just or do you?
We do. We do
Okay.
need you to approve it. And then we need, for it to be, because you're certifying. So, yeah, we need a motion to approve and then just, a signed copy of that.
Okay, so to approve the four-factor analysis. Okay.
Yep. And just keep in mind, this is for the Hurricane Michael, but it also applies to any small cities community development block grant, anything like that you would apply, that this limited English proficiency plan would be required. This will apply for all of those projects.
So, and this is evidently a new requirement?
It is.
Okay, for the CDBG
Correct.
grants, okay. All right, do we have any further questions regarding this presentation from Ms. Fox? Then do we have is there a motion to approve the four-factor analysis for limited English proficiency persons?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, and that motion is by Commissioner Brown. Do we-
Second.
Okay, and second by Commissioner Melander. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and that motion carries. All right, thank you very much. Thank you all for helping me on that. I don't know how it slipped by, but we're all not perfect. Okay, now, old business, and there is none. And so next we have requests for proposals, and we've got 4 items under here, and I would suggest that we certainly do number 1 now, and then we could entertain recess if we want to after we do number 1. So we have number 1, which is Marine Salvage Company to remove 2 derelict vessels in the Carrabelle River. And the action would be to approve or disapprove the bid award.
Right, first, I received 2 bids for this project. It was a very short time frame, so the advertisement was in the paper last Thursday, so it's only been 1 week, and we only received 2 sealed bids back. Our first one is Hondo Enterprises. They're out of Defuniak Springs.
Okay, Hondo Enterprises, okay. And Commissioner Brown, we're gonna have to award one of these 2
We will
bids.
have to award
Uh-huh.
one tonight because I need to get a contract signed, and this whole project has to be completed by November the 15th. So we've given a deadline of October the 18th so that if there's any, punch list items that need to be taken care of, or to get the paperwork, the payments, the canceled checks back, that there's time for that.
And everything has to be done, and when Ms. Courtney said earlier, we had 15 days, that meant that from the day that agreement came into us, we had 15 days to advertise for the bid and to get the bids back and to get the award, notice of the award back to the FWC. I mean, this thing is highly competitive, and if we don't have somebody, if we don't have boats ready to go and to be cleaned out, and salvage companies ready to do the job, they'll give it to someone else.
So we have, the first one's Hondo Enterprises, Defuniak Springs, $118,000.
And that's for the 2,
That is for the 2.
okay.
he may have broke it down per boat, but that was the total.
Who is that with?
Hondo Enterprises. And he does not break it down per boat, so that's his
Okay.
total bid.
Okay.
Bid number 2 is from Live Flyer. They're here in Carrabelle, Florida. For a total of $89,378.
All
What
right.
is the name of the company?
Live Flyer.
Wire.
Flyer.
Okay.
My
So,
only question,
mhm.
and it would be back to the FWC, is our original estimate was way below either one of these prices, and that was what we were awarded, was
It was,
$71,000. So I don't know, do we go back to them, do they increase the amount? That's something I'll have to check on tomorrow, but.
Okay, let's ask Mr. Hartman then. Can we tentatively award one of these bids and then find out from the FWC? Because what they asked for was we did not know that we still don't know if we were supposed to put this to bid, official bid, before we made the application. And so we had a contractor come out and look at the project and gave us a quote. And then that quote was entered in onto the application. And so then they awarded that quote, like estimate. And now our 2 bids are more. And so we're.
Our lowest bid's like 20,000 over what we were originally applied for.
We applied for 71,000,
That's
and
what I mean, and
that
our
last one
lowest
come
bid's
in at
89 something.
378.
It's right at 20 grand, 19.
So, Mr. Hartman, can we tentatively award until we find out if Mr. Horning will accept this?
Yes, I
One-
would say we can award contingent on funding being available. But, yeah, to the low.
Can I, Mayor, ask the attorney another question?
Yes.
Are we in a situation here to where we, and I don't want to delay it, I know our time limit. If the contractor is capable, qualified, equipped to perform the task, most time we get bids, they're reviewed, and then you go further, which I don't think we have time to do that at this point. Anyway, do you see where I'm going with that, Dan?
I think we have to go with one of the ones.
One of the bids? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't,
Well,
I mean, if we reject all bids.
that we don't have time to do that, we're gonna lose it altogether. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we tentatively accept the low bid as opened by the city administrator and proceed and see if we will be able to acquire the funding to make the difference between the original 71 and the 89 and some change.
Yeah, to say it is contingent on us getting that.
Right.
I
Right.
like that, contingent on
Yeah.
funding being available.
Well, I got carried away with that. That was my motion, is actually to make a motion to approve the low bid as opened by the city administrator contingent upon funding.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I like that motion. And we have a second by Commissioner Allen, motion by Commissioner Millender. Now, I have some discussion here, and I just want to advise the commission, and I have read all of these documents from the FWC inside and out. I'm carrying the timeline with me. There's a list of things that have to be done, just so, 2 pages. And I've got it on my Outlook. I'll be reminding Courtney. I'll do what I can to help her, have already. But this is serious business for us. We're undertaking the responsibility to remove these vessels that are tethered to private docks. They're not tethered to any public dock. And we're going to front the money. We have to pay the marine salvage company. Our city tax dollars will pay that marine salvage company. But in the end, if staff, and I'm going to support staff as best I can on this, have not done everything, and staff is not experienced with this, but we're doing the honest to goodness best job that we can do, then it's left up to, if it's not done exactly right, we won't get reimbursement. This is a serious undertaking for us. The FWC will not fund as I mentioned in thanking Mr. Currington, they won't fund grant managers or engineers or anything to help us, and it's a big job. Now, we could reach out to Mr. Currington again. I'm sure he would help. He's extremely helpful. So we just want to be advised, and sometime, during this process between now and November the 5th or whenever, the 15th, whichever it is, we need to get that straight too. Staff may have to put something to the side so they can deal with this project. Okay? All right then. So we have that motion by Commissioner Millender to accept the bid contingent on the low bid of $89,378, contingent on the funding being available. And
if we don't get it done, then we got to do it again later. So let's get this thing done. I'll second it.
Easy enough to say. Okay, we got a second by Commissioner Allen. And any further discussion?
I thought it was already.
Yeah. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, and thank you, Ms. Courtney. All right, we'll hear from Mr. Horning tomorrow, I'm sure, and I'm sure the live flyer of Carrabelle will be hearing from us shortly, because now also the deadline tomorrow is a deadline tomorrow that the bidder, the one that is awarded the bid, has to get their E-Verify identification number into the FWC tomorrow.
Yeah, their FEID.
Good.
Okay? All right. Are we finished with that one? Okay. The next one is the opening of all these bid boxes over here, and should the commissioner
Yes,
be?
Sabrina, I
Okay.
don't think it matters.
Okay.
She's gonna open it and hand it to me, and I'll read it out.
All right, do we want to go ahead and move forward with that, because this could take 20 to 30 minutes. Are we?
Can we take a short break?
Take a
Okay.
break.
All right, we'll take a little recess here, about 5 minutes. But don't open any boxes till
Yeah,
we're
that's what I was
all together.
Today we're going to discuss congestive heart failure and cardiovascular disease. We also manage heart disease. After you see your cardiologist and are diagnosed with heart failure, either previously known as systolic heart failure or diastolic heart failure, or heart failure with reduced ejection fraction or heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, we can optimize you from a volume perspective or dial in your weights, make sure you're breathing comfortably, and address some of your symptoms. We work closely with specialists and hopefully prevent you from having to make long trips to see your specialists unless it's absolutely warranted.
Come inside and check us out. We have something for everyone. Hello, welcome to Apalachicola Chocolate and Coffee Company. From our handmade chocolates, fudges, delicious old-fashioned caramel, pies, cookies, including the largest Greek wedding and macarons you've ever seen. We also make the Italian-style ice cream called gelato, which is adult tested and kid approved. We have a full menu coffee bar, from lattes and cappuccinos to some of our signature drinks, such as our affogatos and black bottom coffees. And don't forget about the famous crafted coffee blend. We also roast our coffee beans on site, so it's super fresh. Don't like coffee? We also have teas and lemonade. If you're hungry, we serve breakfast sandwiches on our homemade bread, or we have New York water bagels. Or try the biscuits and gravy that are to die for. We also have lunch sandwiches and soups. We do carry some gluten-free and vegan options as well. Hear what some locals have to say.
I love the biscuits and gravy.
You know something? The coffee here is great.
I love the ice cream of the chocolate company.
So come check us out and stay a while. In here, it's just like Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Oh, hey, Dan.
The new Florida's Forgotten Coast app. See the latest beach conditions, things to do, places to get delicious seafood, and great shopping along Florida's Forgotten Coast, plus more. Also, check out the Explore the Forgotten Coast Passport and Forgotten Coast Foodie Passport to be entered for your chance to win a trip to the Forgotten Coast. Download the new Florida's Forgotten Coast app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. This mobile app brought to you by the Franklin County Tourist Development Council.
Today we're going to discuss preventative medicine. If you come to Weems and establish a primary care physician, even if you're feeling great, considering your family history and other risk factors, it's important to follow up and pursue preventative medicine. Getting some basic labs, thinking about the future. Just want to sit down and talk to somebody who has a little bit of medical knowledge and can kind of point you in the right direction. I think that's the role of your primary care physician, taking some time, discussing your concerns, talking to you about your family history, about what's going on in your life, and intervening and helping you to understand kind of what's going on with your current medical conditions.
Florida's Forgotten Coast. The Florida you remember.
Russell?
Not at all.
All right, here we go. We're reconvening our commission meeting on August the 5th here at City Hall. And we're about to open requests for proposals for the disaster debris and removal services here in Carrabelle. So we've got the plenty of boxes here to go ahead and open for disaster debris removal and disposal services. All right, are we ready?
Do you want to approve opening it
Yes,
first?
we need to approve that, to approve and disapprove opening these proposal packages today.
All we gotta do is open them and then.
That's it, all we're gonna do is open them today, and then what happens is that these will be referred to our scoring committee, which we're going to, Courtney's gonna recommend that scoring committee shortly at the end of opening all of these proposals, and then we will approve and disapprove that scoring committee. So, and then they will score the proposals and bring back their recommendations to us maybe at the next month's meeting, if they can get through with all of that and the FWC grant.
And so how these are scored is in the documents, it gives so many points for references and so many points for experience and so many points for price. So as the scoring committee sits down and they go through each one, they'll give it so many points. I may give it 3 points in experience and 2 points but whoever comes up with the highest points at the end of the scoring.
Mhm. And there's scoring criteria documents that they must follow that have been submitted or recommended by the by FEMA. So what we need then is a motion to approve or disapprove the opening of these proposal packages for the debris removal and disposal services.
I'll make that motion then,
Okay,
the way you put it.
all right. And then, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, then.
And
move
then
forward.
Commissioner Brown's gonna open them, she's gonna
Well-
hand them to me, I'm gonna read it out.
We should go ahead and do number 3 too,
Just in
because
case.
we don't know which is which.
Okay.
They're not all clearly labeled.
All right. So what we'll do then is we'll go ahead, for safety here, we're going to go ahead and have an approval, a motion to approve or to disapprove the opening of the proposal packages for disaster debris monitoring services.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, and that motion was by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Millender. All right, move forward.
Go ahead. This is custom tree care disaster response. And let's see, where are they from? These are gonna be the disposal. But we may come across the monitoring if it's not marked clearly, so, but we're starting with disposal.
Debris removal and disposal.
Say where they're from. Is it on the box?
Topeka, Kansas.
Topeka, Kansas. It is custom tree care disaster response from Topeka, Kansas. Next one. We have DRC Emergency Services. DRC Emergency Services. They're out of Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Do we know they're for debris removal?
Yes, there is debris removal. Debris removal, it's Terry Tree Service out of Rochester, New York. This is also disaster debris removal and recovery. It's J.B. Coxwell Contracting. J.B. Coxwell Contracting, and it's out of Jacksonville, Florida. This is also debris removal and disposal. It's TFR Enterprises. TFR Enterprises. And they're out of Leander, Texas. Debris removal and disposal. It's KDF Enterprises. KDF Enterprises, Mobile, Alabama. Double seal. You have debris removal and disposal. Graham County Land Company. It's Graham County Land Company out of Robinsonville, North Carolina.
It's like Christmas Day.
You got this one.
Took two of us to do that one. Debris removal and disposal services, Crowder Gulf, out of Mobile, Alabama. I had Miss Sabrina a knife on the desk when she come in. She didn't know what she was getting into.
Like, it's not gonna be that kind of meeting, is it?
Well, she didn't want to run late, so it's up to her.
Debris removal and disposal, disaster response services out of Hudson, Florida. Disaster response services. Also it says Grubbs Emergency Services down here. Let me Grubbs. Hudson, Florida.
While they're doing that, I will say that Ms. Pam Brunell, when they opened their same bid packages at the Franklin County meeting last week or so, she announced that all of these advertisements for these bid proposals appeared in the Tallahassee Democrat, the Emergency Management Facebook page, the Emergency Management website, Franklin County, Franklin County's website, Demand Star, SAMS.gov. And that the advertisements for the newspapers, they must be included in a newspaper that advertises more than once a week. So they were advertised, it was advertised in the Tallahassee Democrat. And the advertising must follow federal guidelines, which is what Ms. Pam Brunell did, and we sure appreciate her including the city of Carrabelle in this work?
This one is also a debris removal and disposal services. It's Aftermath Disaster Recovery, and they're out of Prosper, Texas. Disaster Debris Removal and Disposal Services, SDR. They're out of Orlando, Florida. And this one will be our last one under the debris disposal.
SDR, Southern Disaster Recovery.
We have Phillips and Jordan, out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And then that should be all of our disposal services, and we believe these last two are gonna be monitoring. And we believe that because at the county meeting, they only had 2 monitors, and we pulled them out of the stack. So, this is debris monitoring services. It's Tetra Tech. Maitland, Florida. Tetra Tech from Maitland, Florida. This is also the Debris Monitoring, Disaster Program and Operations, Inc. And they're from Homestead, Florida. That concludes all of our bid packages that we have here. And we can move on to the scoring committee.
Okay, that's fine. And so what we would like to ask is if Ms. Courtney would recommend a scoring committee to us.
So we just looked at what the county had done, and they used 2 of their personnel from the EOC and their road department, Mr. Fonda Davis. So my recommendation is for it to be the city clerk and I and the street and road department supervisor, Mr. Dustin Putnell. And then the 3 of us would go through following the criteria that they've given us and award points and total the points and bring it back to you for a recommendation.
Okay, then, and that recommendation then is for you, the city administrator, city clerk, and the streets and roads supervisor. So do we have a motion to approve or disapprove that recommendation from the city administrator?
I'll motion to approve.
All right,
Second.
okay. We have that motion by Commissioner Brown, second by Commissioner Allen to approve the scoring committee as outlined by the city administrator. Any further discussion?
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're in favor?
I told you to wake me up when y'all get
You're in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? And that motion carries. All right, then. More work for next meeting, or whenever. Okay. This is the time then that we come in our meeting for public comment. And, ooh, think a camera fell down. There we go. But is there any public comment from,
I have a
okay,
speaker
okay, hold
card,
on. Just a moment, and we're gonna, get our camera set up here. All right, I think we're ready. Oh, she got it set up just right, says our producer. Okay, so please come forward.
Mark Melcher with Camp Gordon Johnson.
All right, here we've got Mark Mitchell, sorry.
Okay, I'll make this short and sweet to everybody. I'm here on behalf of Camp Gordon Johnson. We recently completed our motor pool building out there at our new building site. So we've got a permanent home for our military vehicles, and I encourage everybody to come out and take a look. Come see the exhibits we got going on.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
sir. We appreciate your work, all of your hard work out there and all the volunteers. It's a beautiful museum. All right, next, Miss Keisha.
That's all I have.
Okay, so we have a lady in the audience that would like to come forward. Is that okay? She hasn't done a speaker card. It's
I
okay.
think she had one of the bids. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, come forward.
I'm with Live Flyer, and
Okay.
we do have the E-Verify in the packet. So just that
Okay, very
it's there.
good.
So it's ready to go.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Ms. Courtney will be in touch with Mr. Phil Horning with the FWC in the morning, and you
And
can
get
submit
back
that.
in touch with you as soon as I have an answer.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you. And
Thank
what's
you.
your name?
Ann in
Ann?
Schwarting, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Thank you very much.
Very
They're
good.
right here in Carrabelle.
Yes, that would be a great thing.
Here in February.
Nice.
Well, welcome, welcome aboard with the new 2 police officers. All right, then do we have any other public comment? Okay, anything else from the commissioners this evening, or staff? All right.
Adjourn.
Okay, then, we have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Allen,
Second.
a second by Commissioner Melander. Any further discussion? I think the meeting went well. The openings went very fast. Thank you, I appreciate that. All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Good night, folks.